Kat and Iniba, and welcome back to Halo Halo, the show that aims to spotlight our very own talent. And joining us today is a very talented performance artist, writer, comedian, activist, Kristina Wong.
Here I am.
Welcome back,
in
Kristina.
LA. Thank you, Kat.
Yes.
So great to be back in Halo. I was told I lost weight since my last appearance.
Yeah, but you just appeared.
I was still hot then.
Yeah, you're always hot.
Thank you.
Now, you just came back from New York.
Very last minute, I got a Comedy Central called, and I was on the nightly show with Larry Wilmore on the panel section.
Now, it's not every day that you get called to be a part of the...
No, and that's why I was like, I'm coming, and I got on a red eye. Like I actually just came back from the Philippines.
Yeah.
A lot of people's motherlands. I've yet to go to China, my own motherland, but I'm
I have yet to go to the Philippines.
Well, come to China. We'll do a switch. You tell me how it is.
That sounds good. Now, what was your experience like in the Philippines?
I could not tell where I was sometimes. I'm like, am I in Spain? Am I in Vietnam? Am I in Korea? Am I in Koreatown? Am I in a brothel? Am I in New York City? Like it's Manila is incredible. There's so many different neighborhoods, each with their own personalities, and there's a lot of very developed neighborhoods, so lots of skyscrapers. But you look over a few blocks and there are neighborhoods with just with like little one-story buildings, chickens running around. So it's a trip. It's such a trip, and there's so much history and
I can't wait to go myself.
Yeah. Well, I found a $400 ticket that left from New York City. We're in LA right now.
Yeah.
They flew the wrong way around the world. So it took 40 hours to get home.
Oh, wow.
And when I got home, I got a call from Comedy Central, so I got back on a plane, like only having been home for 12 hours.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah. And you ate balut there, too.
I ate, that stuff is... So
you're brave. I am not eating
I've been
balut.
told that. Yeah. I don't know what the appeal is, but I did it.
Yeah, you also did some glamour shots
I
there.
did glamour shots in the mall. I have this sort of running theme where whenever I'm in an Asian country, I'm like, I want to take the glamour shots, because I feel like that to me is how women in each country sort of present their beauty and sort of the way the props and the stuff that's photoshopped behind them is so much a part of it. And I did bridal glamour shots for like $30.
What?
In Cambodia, and I was looking for, and everyone who's been to the Philippines is like, oh, you just go to a mall and you can find it. And I was introduced to friends of friends, so I've known them for all of 20 minutes, and I was like, I want to find
I want to do this.
Glamour shots. And we went all over the malls. We went to 2 or 3 different malls. We couldn't find it, and then we gave up, and we were walking towards this ice rink. There's an ice rink inside on a 5th floor of the mall, which sounds like a really stupid idea, right?
Yeah.
Because put it on the ground floor.
Exactly.
Or else it's like hailing ice and novice ice skaters. So someone hands us a flyer, and it's like this arty photo studio that they do artistic nudes. And I was like, can you photo us right now? And they're like, we can do it tomorrow. I'm like, now. I don't know you don't have costumes, but I was born with a costume. It was that time of the month.
Oh my gosh.
I'll be honest. And so I am a professional model, and I know how to roll with these things.
I can't wait to see these pictures.
So it's a good thing it was a plastic couch, is all I can say.
Gee, thanks for the info. Now you have you have been touring the theater market for over 10 years. Wong Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. You won an award at the Burbank International Film Festival.
Yeah, it became a film.
Yeah,
so that's what you're holding, is I now exist on a...
Which is nice. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's nice to not have to do any warm-ups or whatever, and people can still experience the show.
Yeah, and now you have a new show, one-woman show, right?
The Wong Street Journal.
The Wong Street
It might be the
Journal.
last of, I have 3 shows that all have my last name tucked into them. Wong Street Journal, Going Green the Wong Way, and Wong Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah.
And people are getting confused, and white people are taking liberties with like, oh, she makes fun of her last name. Wong number.
We can.
2 Wongs make it white. And I'm like, stop. Now I have to stop, because white people ruined it.
But tell me a little bit more about the Wong Street Journal.
The Wong Street Journal. So like I said, I was touring Wong Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Right.
for years. I'm very blessed that I've been able to be a touring artist, but this show is about depression and suicide among the Asian American community, or Asian American women, and it's a very funny show, not at the expense of the depressed. In ways, it was sort of like a great self-deprecating show of what it's like to be depressed or live in a culture where people, like at least my family, like do not talk about anything being wrong all the time, and so that's where a lot of the humor is. And it did so well because it was so funny. It's just a long time to tour a show live about a subject like that. And I did a lot of growing in the time. You imagine touring the same show. You did the same episode of Halo Halo for 8 years?
For 8 years,
It's hard. So I was going nuts. And then my follow-up show was a play called Cat Lady, which inadvertently was supposed to be about pickup artists and about cats, and it ended up becoming about how hard it was to tour the show for so long, and to play a version of myself and to try to date when people are like, are you the character in your show?
Are you dealing with it?
Are you depressed? Do I felt like a walking red flag. And so I was just like, I'm just going nuts, mining my own life for material. I need to just do something totally, totally different. And I was like, I'm gonna go to Africa. You know, I don't know, I like pulled a Dave Chappelle, because I think in a way, and I don't want to like cheapen what that means to go visit Africa, but I really was just so lost that I had to do something so counter to anything I could imagine. Like I haven't even been to China, like I said, and I just went straight to the mother of motherlands, you know, and I knew it was going to be complicated. I knew there would be unfinished business in terms of trying to create a show about what that experience would be like. And it was probably the best decision I made in terms of just educating me as someone who does a lot of work around social justice, in terms of really challenging me as an artist. And I think it's really made me kind of reconsider what the role is of Asian Americans in working towards the liberation of Black lives in this country and on this planet. So So I went to northern Uganda. There was a civil war. People might be familiar with Joseph Kony, and there was like a Kony 2012 viral campaign.
Is that why you went? Or
I didn't. I went to work with the microloan organization. And I thought originally
empowerment, right?
It was Women's Global Empowerment Fund, and which also works in conjunction with an organization called VACnet, that gives microloans to women in northern Uganda. And I could go into a lot about why this microloan organization just targets women, but the idea is women are the most affected by poverty, the most affected by war, the most left behind by war. A lot of the women who I met were widows and who had been abducted by Joseph Kony's army, and I mean, just like things that we could never imagine. And microloans are tiny amounts of money, like $50 to $100, and there are people who are just so poor they can't take a bank loan to start a business idea. So a microloan allows these women to start farming campaigns or farming businesses so that they can self-determine their own lives. So that's why I went to better understand that. But while I was out there, I ended up making a rap album.
I saw that. You did a rap album all by accident, right?
Like, of all the strange things that could possibly happen. I'm walking in the street my second night, and I'm looking for street food because I was staying in this hotel for Westerners, and I was like, I don't just want to be cooped up in this bubble of like, you know, perceived safety for Western people. I'm going to go interact with people in the street. I'm going to go I'm going to do something very simple, walk 2 blocks and go look for food. And I saw these boys making what's called Rolex, which is not the watch.
Okay, I thought it was the watch.
It's rolled eggs, so it's chapati bread with eggs. So the word is turned into rolled eggs is turned into Rolex. So I asked how much this Rolex was, and they named the price of 80 cents. Or 2,000 shillings, and I knew it was too much, and I was like, don't charge me the Mzungu price. And Mzungu is the Swahili word for white person.
Right.
So if any Asian person is sick of their Asian existence, go to Africa where you will become a white person. And in ways I've never felt so white in my life there, like just so like out of my element, just kind of clueless and super privileged. Anyway, so I saw two of these boys holding hands in this street food situation, and very naively thought that this was the underground gay community of Uganda.
Oh my gosh! So like, is this going to be part of?
Yeah, this is all in the show. This is
all part of your show.
And when the guys were like, "Come to see your music," and it's pitch black. There's no street lights.
Oh
like you have to think there's this completely different sense of infrastructure than anything we're ever used to here in America. And so it's pitch black, and they're pointing to this room behind them. They're like, "Come see our studio." And like, this is a bad idea,
Are
right?
You by yourself?
Yeah, by myself.
Okay.
In post-conflict northern Uganda, where Joseph Kony used to kidnap women.
Yeah, and you're like, okay.
And I see these men holding hands, and I'm like, I have to help them. I have to.
And then you get a rap album.
So they're not the underground gay community. For some reason, Uganda is super homophobic, but hardcore rappers are holding hands there. And I start to record a rap album with them. And the first song we create is called Mzungu Price.
Yeah.
And they play. So over 3 weeks, I've made about 5 songs, and the songs are in 3 languages, and they play on the radio in northern Uganda.
Congratulations!
So I'm an international hip hop sensation, everyone. And they also play nightclubs there.
Oh, that's
yeah,
awesome.
and I still have a relationship with the rappers and with the producer and so a lot of their story is in this show.
Yeah. Now it's making its world premiere in San Francisco, but I know you have plans to go throughout the U.S.
Yes.
Where can we get more info?
Well, I guess you can keep up with me, KristinaWong.com. We're gonna just put it right here on my stomach. We're just gonna run it right here, and check my upcoming calendar. I will have shows. The dates are not set yet, but Miami, Philadelphia, Los Angeles at the Red Cat, and hopefully a few more American cities.
Yay, I
after
can't
San Francisco.
wait. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you,
and
Kat.
all of your success. Thank you so much for making the time.
No problem. Hollow, hollow.
Hollow, hollow.
And I've lost weight, apparently.
Yes, you have.
So I have to.
And the camera adds 10 pounds.
And it has
Again, for more info on Kristina Wong and her upcoming show, The Wong Street Journal, make sure to check out her website at KristinaWong.com. Time for a quick break, but we have more entertainment news, all when we return.